Yeah. So let us see. So what we are interested in is extracting many contest questions and algorithms questions in theoretical computer science also later on come in this disguise. They are at the end of the day, about extracting a minimum spanning tree. Okay, but here I'll just say minimum weight tree. Minimum weight tree, obviously, which uses all the vertices. Okay, so spanning tree. In the case when there are no weights, right? So let us just take a graph, any graph. Let's take an example here. Something like this. In the case when there are no weights on the edges, okay, and let's say we want to find a tree from here. From here, we want to go to a tree. Why do we want to go? Well, there are several reasons, right? It is a graph which is connected, uses the minimum number of edges, is connected but doesn't have any cycles, is connected but between any 2 points there's a unique path. So many good things happen, right? So the spanning tree is a really important extremal place to go. And we had also done a class where we had, proved other things using the spanning tree, right? Having a degree 1 vertex, and it is not a cut vertex and leaf and so on, all about applications of. Then there was a net problem, volleyball net, so on. So it is an important question. Okay, but so far that was all the weighted case, and we had even given an algorithm, described a process here, right? So we just said that if there is a cycle, remove the edge, and so on. Okay. But today we are not interested in that. Today we are interested in the weighted case. Okay. So let's see. Yes. Once again, let's take an example. I have not prepared an example, so we will just take an example, random example. So I'll just make a graph with, 7 vertices and make a bit complicated graph so that, and we'll give weights to the edges. This could be a network of roads. It could be many things. It could be the length, could be the weight, the road and so on could be the weight. So let's make this. And now let's give some weights. We had also seen earlier that even if negative weights are given, that is not a problem, because you can add a sufficiently large weight to each of the paths so that all the weights then become positive and solve the problem there, and then subtract the same quantity and so on, so on. So that's why we'll just deal with positive weights. So here, positive weights. Okay, so all these are fine. Okay. Yeah, so let us give weights. So can give 1, 1, 3, 11, 100, 1, 7, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so here is our graph, and let's also name the vertices. Let's do it formally. So this is V3 right here, V4 just anti-clockwise. Yeah, and also while you guys are obviously thinking about it, I'll also say that let me state the problem clearly and without the language of trees, or maybe, yeah. So we, or at least, yeah, pick some edges, okay, from the ones available, pick some edges such that A, they form a connected graph, obviously, That is our, we want to keep the thing connected. Now this is already connected. So condition is met, but sum of the weights on the edges is minimized. Yeah, maybe we can first do the problem for this case, and then the real challenge is to describe a rule that works in general. Yeah, describe a rule so that the same rule, when followed by a computer, followed without thinking, can give us the return the right answer, or a right answer, because there could be many such combinations. Describe a general rule. Just so first, my first is the setting clear to everyone what we are trying to do? Okay. So then let's think about, let's first maybe say it here, see it here. It could be an ad hoc way, but eventually we want a rule. So which edges do we want to pick, and with what logic, so that we get a connected? Minimum. Okay, okay, go on. Sorry, go on. Hmm. Okay, so you're removing. Okay, so okay. So that is a suggestion. Okay, so locate cycles. Okay, so see, locating cycles itself is a tough thing for a computer to do in small time. Okay, but let's see this is, at least if theoretically this is correct or not, can be at least thought about. Locate cycles and remove the largest edge. This is what your idea is. Yes. Okay. So see, does everybody see if the algorithmic problem that is there before going into the mathematical side of it? There are, see, because these questions have two purposes, right? We also want a rule that is feasible. See, otherwise someone can just say, why don't you just write out all the possible trees? There are many trees, right? We had seen last time that if it's a complete graph, then there are n to the power n minus 2 trees. And then in that, you just see which one has the minimum weight. That's obviously, but we all know that that is just impossible to do. Yeah, but this, at least see if this is theoretically correct. Sorry. For first of all, algorithmically, yeah. So algorithmically, there is a problem. Okay. Because if there is a large graph, then to find all the cycles is a problem. Yeah, see, this is like finding all the cycles, right? Find all cycles one by one, unless you describe the process in a better way. Okay, this is like finding all the cycles, and finding all the cycles, how do you tell? If you tell the computer find all the cycles, it won't just do it. Yeah, it will run through all combinations of edges or something like that. So that may be a problem, but is it so yeah, algorithmically this is problematic. Okay, so let me maybe write, because sometimes, so if they ask describe a process which will take less time and so on, then this will not work. But let us see if this works mathematically. Okay, so algorithmically costly, at least for now. Now if there is a smart way to locate cycles, list all cycles, then it's possible. That I think is beyond our scope for now. Okay, is it mathematically correct? I do not know. Okay. I have never thought about it because usually we want it to be algorithmically correct first. So let's think about it. If we can find an answer now. Is it going to give us the minimum tree? Let's think. Maybe you can take some small in this what will happen. Let's see. Yeah, at least. So in this we will be removing this first. And this will be the next one to go. Then so 7 will also go. Yes, right. And then here, but you see, we are looking for the cycles in an ad hoc way because there is no way to list cycles. Yeah. And then this 3 will go, and then this 3 will go. Maybe. No. Oh, wait, can the 6 go? Wait. No. Third one meaning we see this. Oh yeah, that's yes. Yes, right, absolutely. And that's obviously true. So 6 cannot go. 3 will go. Now I know an algorithm, so let me check. And this looks correct. I do not think we can make it better, right? Yeah. So we are getting 1, 1, 1, 2, 6. If I would do it by my algorithm, and by the algorithm I know, then 1, 1, then I'll pick 1, 2, 1. I'll pick the 6. Yes, this gives us the right answer. Yeah. And you can check. So see, search. So first thing, this is a tree. Does everybody see that? Yeah. You can see you don't have to check too much, right? You can just see that it is connected because at each stage. So use the theory we have, or just use the mathematical, do the mathematical way, right? At every stage we have only removed edges from cycles. Okay. So this will be connected, and there are no more cycles. So this is a tree. And you can convince yourself that this is certainly the minimum tree, because see, in any tree, this 6 has to be there, right? You cannot. Okay, if you don't keep the 6, you have to keep the 11. So that's not good. So this does seem to give the right answer. Yes, but how do you prove it? We have to think about. 1 minute. Can anybody come up with an example where this does not give the right answer? Yeah. Yes, but no, but then 7 will get disconnected, right? If you remove the 6, then this is not a tree. Well, how will you connect the 7 with 4? That doesn't work. Yeah, so that doesn't work. But I do not know if this always works. This is a very different kind of algorithm or the procedure described. So let me see. If we take something like, let's say I take this to be 3 and I take this 2, 2 and 2, 2. So in that case, you will be getting, if this was the graph, right, and you use this your method, then you will get 2, 2, 2. Certainly it will work here. So how do you prove? So the tree that we get by this method, yeah, the tree that we get by this method, it is always getting rid of the minimum of the maximum edge from the cycle that would be formed. This is okay. Let's see. Let's introduce some notations. I think I have a method to prove this. Okay. So let T1. So in this case, obviously it is true, but the challenge is to prove this in general. Okay. So first of all, is the method clear to everyone? I mean that is this procedure clear to everyone? Yeah, what has been suggested? Okay. So you look for cycles. How you look for it, we do not know. But mathematically speaking, you can enumerate them, and then obviously you have them. And then you remove the largest edge from the cycle. Okay, let's say you do this process. Yes. Yes. And with that, we will actually come like that, and I'll take your first method. Yes, but I just want to prove this. I feel that this will give the right answer always, but this will not be algorithmically feasible, but at least mathematically it's a method. Okay, so I want to first prove this. Okay, so I'm saying that if the method is clear, no matter how long time it takes, it will end in the end. And even if it doesn't end, we don't care. Mathematically, it can be done, but it will end. Let T1 be the tree. T1 be the, I'm just now using some terminology using saying MST, because when you guys read, maybe not now, you will not read these things maybe, but in the future, when you formally read this and advanced topics of this, even now you can read minimum spanning tree. This is called, okay. So let T1 be the, sorry, wrong. We do not know yet if it is a minimum spanning tree, right? Let T1 be the spanning tree. That's why I'm getting ahead. Be the spanning tree returned by this process. By this process. Okay. Okay, let me just do one thing. Let's create some space. And also the technique I am trying to use, you'll see it's a technique that we use in other places. So obviously the edges of T1 are among the edges of the graph. Okay, so G is the graph that we are starting with. And T1 is obviously using some of the edges from here, how we understand. Okay, let T2 be on any other spanning tree. So you see, I'm trying to compare. Okay, because this is, I think, can give us the answer. Let T2 be any other tree. Any other spanning tree of the graph, of the original graph, not any other tree. Obviously, we have to use the edges that are already there. And it's obvious, but just saying, okay. T2 be any other, I'll just use the full terminology. Spanning subtree of G. So that there is no doubt, okay, when you're writing it also. Okay, so I want to show that is a claim equivalent to the saying that this process will work, or this method suggested will work. Claim is that the weight you can understand the sum of the weights of the edges. Weight of T1 is going to be less than equal to weight of T2. Okay. This is what we want to prove. Okay. Let us see how we can prove this. Any ideas how we can do this? So T2 is some other tree, okay, which uses some other edges. Obviously, some edges might be same. So we can also say example T1 in this case. In this case, T1 is what? T1 is V1 V7, that edge. Or let me just use another notation. You will understand it. Edge E17. Okay. And then is this notation okay with everyone? E12 means that joining V1 and V2 and so on, right? You can see. No, this is not used. We are comparing, and in the end, we will be using some kind of an exchange argument. Some of you may remember we had done this, some exchange. Even if you don't remember, it doesn't matter. You will, when you see it, you will see it. 3, 4, right? And just writing it explicitly, E6, E5. Okay, and T2 could be something else, some other dot dot edges. Okay. Now, how do we show that the weight of T1 is less than weight of T2? What should be the process? I'll remove the algorithm. I'll remove this. I won't say algorithm, just method, because we know the method. How do you compare T1 and T2's weights? See, obviously, we want to compare, right? We want to compare T1 and T2. Yes? Sorry? I know. I do not know. I hope it is correct. I think it. Okay. Yes. Delete V1. Oh, nutrient, new graph, completely new graph. No, you cannot join V1, V3. Okay, a different graph. Then it's a different graph. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So V1, okay. Yeah, okay. Oh, wait, the rest of the graph is same. Wait, so if the rest of the graph is same, let me just, because I don't want to, no, sorry. V6, V5. So you're saying that then this method will not give a minimum tree. Okay, let's see. Okay, then it's good. If you, I was also, let's see, thinking for a second, but I didn't get an example. So V2, V7 is joined, right? Yes, okay. Yeah, V1, V3 is 1. And V2, V7 was 3. And this is 1. And this is 6, 1, 7. Right. So let's see. So what this method will do. Yes, V2, V3 is 11. Okay. So yes. So what this method is going to do is it is going to look for cycles and delete the largest vertex, right? So let us, yeah, so I will first delete 100. maybe. So maybe I'll say that we will look at the largest vertices of the cycles first. Okay, so we'll order the cycles according to which one has the largest vertex. We'll take that first. Okay, so we have 100, and then obviously the next one to go is 11. 7, yeah, then 6, yeah, and one more will go 3. This will give the what? How better can you get from here? I don't think so. Right? Yeah. No. This is still this is going to be minimum, right? I think everybody is convinced, right? This is the minimum. This tree is again minimum because what better can you do? You have to use all the ones and you are using, and you have to use 2 more. You are using 2 and 3. That's because every tree on 7 vertices needs to have 6 edges. Can't do less than that, right? It is minimum. I am feeling this method is correct. It is never suggested as an algorithm, though there are like many algorithms for spanning tree, because algorithmically it's not good. But mathematically, I think it's correct. Okay, now since this is giving us, okay, and just one request, please take graphs and find minimum spanning trees by using this method or other methods which we'll discuss, because you have to really do it, and then, okay, you will, yeah, get a sense of it more and more. But yeah, let me write the idea I had. So the idea was to compare T1 and T2. Yeah. See, when you want to compare two things, obviously you would compare them in the places where they differ, right? The edges that are there in T2 and not in T1, things like that, right? The edges that are same in both, you don't need to compare, right? They are getting cancelled. Okay. Is that okay with everyone? Yeah. That is the idea. Now, in this, the sub idea is okay. So let's say that E I comma J. Okay. So here I'm just doing a general argument. Please persist. Try to understand. Try to see this. You can write this as 1, 2 also, but let me first do it like this. Okay. Let Eij. 1 minute. I'm just I'm looking at this method for the first time. So let Eij be an edge in T2. Okay, in T2. Okay, I'm taking an edge Eij in T2. And let's say it has weight. What weight would you give? Wij, obviously. Okay. Now, in T2, but not in T1, obviously. Otherwise, see, we don't want to compare things that are common to both, right? That is the obvious. See, we want to show the ultimate goal is to show that weight of T1 is less than or equal to, it could be equal. Okay, I'm not saying that this method is the only method, right? Or the only minimum tree. Weight of T1 is less than equal to weight of T2. What should we do? So this is an edge in T2. Obviously, T2 has many other things, but we don't want to confuse now. Okay? We don't want to draw the rest, just this much. Now, what else do we do? What can we do? How do we compare this with T1? See, here is the idea. I could directly quote the 1 minute. There's an edge. Yeah, I could directly quote the exchange lemma, but you will just see it once again. Okay, and I'm able to think of it because I know the exchange lemma, so I can think of it quickly. But you see this in many places, then you will also become more of an expert. VIVJC, T1 is a tree, it's connected, right? So in T1 also, there will be a path from VIVJ. VIVJ edge may not be there in T1, but there will be a path from T1 to T2. Sorry, there will be a path from VI to VJ in T1, right? That is the essence of the things. There will be a path, some path, might be a very long path, we don't know. Okay, there will be a path from Vi to Vj in T1. Everybody agrees? Some path. Let us say 3 length path. Okay, we don't know. Okay, this is the path in T1. So this entire path is in T1. Okay, let's just use concrete language. Okay, this path will be EI1. Okay, then E12, then E23, then E3J. Everybody agrees? Yeah, this is the thing. Now what? Now what do we do? Remember, this entire cycle that we get now, okay, this entire cycle is there in G. Isn't that right? Because, yeah. Because T2 is picking things from G, T1 is picking things from G. See, this H could also be in G, could also be in T2. This could also be in T2, right? Not saying that's not, but it is in T1 definitely, but all of it is in G. Okay. So this entire edge, sorry, this entire cycle is in G. Now, when I was running the procedure that was suggested by Pragya, right? When I was running the procedure, then when I saw this cycle, I did not pick this edge. While constructing T1, I did not pick this edge. Why didn't I pick that edge? Because it was the largest edge in the cycle. At least as much as we understand the precision, and the procedure is still, I can see some ambiguity. You can say, what do you mean by largest cycle and smallest cycle? But keeping it simple, yeah, this is what it is. So Wij must have been, or must be, yeah, must have been the largest in this cycle. That's why I did not pick it that time. Okay, that's why. So because it was not picked, right? Because it was the one removed, it was the one sacrificed, right? Because the way it's running, we are running this procedure is by removing edges, right? Because it was the one, it was removed while making T1. While making T1, not T2. T2 is gotten by some other way. It's just a random tree which is spanning. While making, I'm writing a lot of words, but what does this mean? Well, this means that instead of Wij, any other vertex would have done, any other edge in this cycle would have done as well. So instead of this, what I can do is from T2, I will say you remove Vwij, it is too costly. Okay, remove this edge. Instead, you take, why don't you take some other edge? Now, obviously, see, try to understand. T2 has this edge. T2 cannot have all these edges. Can T2 have all these edges? No, because T2 doesn't have cycles. It's a tree. Isn't that right? T2 will not have all the edges. It may have 3 of them, but it will not have all 4 of them. Right? It will not have all 4 of them. So I will say that, okay, I'm right here. Also, T2 doesn't, now you guys can understand, right? But I'm not saying complete it out because this might be a little, okay? Instead, you should rethink about this, and but we'll complete this, okay? Also, T2 does not have at least one. Okay, at least one. Now it may not have two of them, it may not have three of them also. We do not know. Trees are trees. Okay, at least one of in that path. So you give one of them. Let's say it doesn't have EI1. You say, okay, you remove WIJ, I'll give you a cheaper vertex. Sorry, cheaper edge, right? I'll give you a cheaper edge. And you see, this is a tree whose weight is also a tree, right? Everybody agrees it's also a tree. Yeah, because you see, I remove this edge, right, from T2, and I gave this edge to T2. Oh, so that's is it a tree? Is this a tree? Let's think about it. Think I'm wrong. Yeah. If I remove this edge, if I remove this and I give it, if I give it this one, will it become a tree? Will it still remain a tree? That, so does everybody understand the question? So forget about the weights for a second, okay? Just think like this. You had a tree T2, it has this edge from Vi to Vj. I am removing that edge. Forget about the weight. The weight is not important here. I am removing Vi Vj, Wij or Vi Vj, and I'm adding this to it. Will it still remain a tree? Hmm? No, it may not have. We do not know. We do not know. At least one. It may not have any of them. Okay. So two things have been said. So first of all, someone said it may form a cycle. No, it will not form a cycle. It hold on. So you are right. Yes, you are right. No, so the connectedness might also be a problem. So both are correct. Thinking both are wrong. Both might be correct. Yes, it may form a cycle. Yes, and hence it may not be connected because it may have to compromise other place. But yeah, so first of all, it may form a cycle. That's right, because you see, okay, so let's use the pink 42. Okay, so but we will resolve this issue. I see a way. I think T2. See, this is how you have to. I think this is like we do get stuck, and then we have to, yeah, see how to get out of it. So T2 had this, okay, but the problem is that T2 may already have a path like this, yeah, and T2 doesn't have V1 to Vi. T2 doesn't have this, right? Now, if I tell T2 to get rid of this edge, and if I add this edge, as I think Chandan said, this will form a cycle. So that's no good, right? That is, but hold on, can that be doing? Are we doing something very silly? Can that happen? Wait a minute. Huh? Yes, it can form a cycle. Everybody can see that, right? It may form a cycle. We do not know. And other way you can say it may not be connected because as yeah, if T2 did not have any of these three, now not connected. So this is both ways you can see because there's the duality, right? If you waste your edges in cycles and you still have only n-1 edges, then you will not be connected if you waste your edges in creating cycles and vice versa. So this does not work. So how do we do? We say, see, at least, so among these, right, among these, see, when you first you do one thing, first you remove the wij. Okay, you remove the wij from T2, right? Now vi to vj is not vi to vj. Hold on. Huh? So from T2 we remove an edge. We are removing eij. Now we need to give an edge. Yeah, so you can. Yeah, but that is a problem, right? Hold on. So my claim is that at least one of these edges can be given, which it doesn't have, which T2 doesn't have. At least one of the edges you can give. And see, it's clear that any edge you give, so first of all, any edge you give from here, the weight of T2 is not going to increase. Right? Any edge you give from here, the weight of T2 is not going to increase. Right? Yeah, because wij has the largest weight. Now let us just think if we can do that. Obviously we can do, but this was the exchange lemma, right? That if you remove one of the edges, you can give some other edge from, or did we do a wrong proof that time? 1 minute. So yeah, so we have to just prove this. We have to just say that at least one of the edges from here can be given. Once we show that, once we show that, we are done, right? If we can give one edge from here, okay, something from here, then this weight, the weight of this is obviously less than weight of T2. Yeah, it is less than the weight of T2. And yeah, and you see, in this way you can in this way, if you continue, you can transform T2 to T1. Does everybody see that? Yeah, one at a time we are doing, right? We are removing one edge that was in T2 and not in T1. So there was an edge wij which was in T2 and not in T1. This edge, we removed that with an edge from T1. We'll show that that can be done. Okay. Once you do that, the weight of T2 decreases, right? And this T2 is getting closer and closer to T1. It's becoming more and more like T1, right? Again, you can take steps like this, and you can go on and on, and right. And in this way, you will finally get to T1. So the weights will keep decreasing, and you'll finally get to T1, or non-increasing, right? This is the idea. Let us just is there any is there any part that I have to say apart from that some edge can be added? Yes, from T1. Yeah. Okay. So that's just a simple thing that I'll just prove. Okay. That's something that you have already proved, but okay. So let us just get to that. Then you can look back at this if needed. Okay. Yeah. Right. So let's just get to that. Then this will be easy. So here is a lemma. We had already proved that. If you look back. So this is what it was. See, it now forget about the weights. This is not about weights anymore, right? It's just about being able to graph theoretically put an edge. So if you have a tree T1 and if you have a tree T2, right? Let's say that in T2, from V1 to V2, there is an edge. So again, T2 is with maybe pink, and maybe T1 is with green. Okay. So in T2, there is this edge. In T1, there is a path. So in T1, there is a path from V1 to V2. any length path, but see, there has to be a path. Is that right? In T1, so in T1, there is a path from V1 to V2. And in T2, there is an edge from V1 to V2, direct edge. Okay, I want to show that there is an edge in T1 from the path V1 to V4. There is an edge E, okay, such that T2 minus this edge, you can remove this edge and you can add this edge, is a tree. Okay, that is what we are claiming. Yeah, that is a problem, right? It may not be. Okay, let's see. Let's see. So okay, let's see. So you see, you remove this edge. First, you remove this edge. If you remove this edge, T2 becomes disconnected. Obviously, right? If I remove an edge, T2 becomes disconnected, right? Now, minute. One second. So if I, yes, that's right. But first of all, I have to show that this claim is correct. That I have not yet shown. I think so. It is certainly possible, but maybe there is some other condition, right? Just let's think about this for 2 minutes. I'll just let us think. So if you remove an edge, there are n minus 2 these things, and one minute. So taking T1 union T2. When you take T1 union T2, you get a cycle. And one minute. One minute. This is easy. I'm just not getting it. So you take this cycle. Oh, wow. So you take 2 trees. So we have 2 trees, and we connect, we join them. Wait a minute. Oh. So usually, so how is this? How is this exchange lemma usually stated? It is usually said like this. I think it does not go like this. This is it is a because if I am because this is no longer a tree, right? If you're first, so if you're first removing this edge, yeah, the problem is that if you first remove this edge, then see none of these like this, 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 and this, right? None of them may be in T2. Is that right? Yeah. None of these edges may be in T2, maybe in T2. They may all only be in T1. So, and still, so for example, this may be connected like this, and this may be connected like this. No, I mean not straight edge, or yeah, I mean it could just be like this, right? Yes, so it could be like this. So this could all be in so just imagining a situation where it is not possible. It could be like this, right? Now, if you remove, yeah. So you see, so in this tree in T2, if you just look at the pink lines, then V1 is connected with this, V1 is connected directly with this, it's directly with this, and directly with this, right? But now, if you remove this edge, then you cannot add a green edge. Hold on. No, you can add. Wait a minute. Yeah. So if you, the problem is that. Yeah. So we are looking at the wrong thing. That is a problem. Yeah. We are fixing a cycle first, right? That is a problem. So see, if you're going to remove this edge, right, V1 to V2, right, then there is no path. So then there is no path from V1 to V2 in T2, right? In T2, you cannot go from V1 to V2 anymore. Is that right? Yeah. Because between any 2 points, there is always only a unique path. Yeah. There is only a unique path. So now you cannot go from V1 to V2 in T2. But yeah, so then what is T2? And now our graph T2 has n minus 2. T2 has n minus 2 edges, right? T2 has n minus 2 edges. We want to say that, okay, so now it has n minus 2 edges. And certainly it has no cycles. So it has 2 connected components, right? And we want to join them. No, you cannot. I don't think you can say this. This is not correct. What you can say is, if in T2, if you add an edge, then you can remove some edge and still make it a tree, right? Yeah, this way, this does not work. Yeah. No. Sorry. This is wrong. You cannot always do this. So that is what the exchange is about. If you add an edge, then you can pull out some other edge of the graph. That is what the exchange is about. This cannot be done. Yeah, this cannot be done because there may be no edge in E that can help. Yeah, we do not know what edge. So if you remove if you remove this edge, right, then to connect V1 to V2, you do not know if any of these can help. No. Yes, yeah, at least 3 of them have to be there so that we can put a 4th one and make it connected again, right? But that is certainly incorrect. Yeah, let's try to modify that. Yeah, what you can do is the following. Okay, so, and this is certainly, so you see, if you have T1, T2, and now suppose, yeah, now let us look at, yeah, let us look at T1. So see, so what I was saying is, if you look at T1, and let's say this is V1 to V2, and so once again, suppose this is T1. Okay, this is the edges in T1. Now, if you add an edge from, so if you now pick an edge from T2 which is not in T1. Okay, pick an edge from T2 not in T1. Okay, pick an edge from T2 which is not in T1, and you add it to T1. Add it to T1. Let's say this was the edge. Pick an edge E. So you see, now we are starting with T1. So now we are trying to go from T1 into T1 to T2, and I will show that the weight does not decrease. That will also do the problem, right? Let us see if that can be done, right? Okay, so what are we doing? We are starting with T1. We have a path from V1 to V2. Or you could just say that you pick an edge in T2. Okay, and then you find a path between the points, but let's not do like that. Again, confusing. So let's just start with let's start with 2 points, V1 to V1, V2. There is a path in T1 from V1 to V2. You take that green path. Okay, now if this path is also completely there in T2, then there is nothing to do. But if it is not, then let's say that there is an edge from V1 to V2. If there is an edge from V1 to V2, like this, now we have T1 plus E. Okay, and you see this forms a cycle. Okay, now this is a cycle. This cycle was there in G, right? This cycle was there in G, but T1 did not pick it. It means that this should have been the largest of that cycle, right? Okay, so we have this, and now you see, since you have a cycle, you can obviously sacrifice some, or yeah, I mean, you could sacrifice any vertex, any edge, right? Now you can remove any edge from this path. Is that right? Any edge in the path from V1 to V2 in the green path. And you can see it will still be connected, right? In the green path. Any edge, okay? And I will sacrifice that edge which is completely there in T1 and not in T2. So here I will pick smartly, pick an edge only in T1. Obviously that will be possible because if every edge here was in T2, this is also in T2, how is that possible? That will be a cycle in T2. Okay. Is it clear to everyone that this can be done? Right. So in this way, what I'm doing is I'm slowly transforming from T1 slowly, one edge at a time to T2, and the weight is obviously not decreasing. Okay, so this works. So we went a long way, but I think we learned an important lesson. That cannot be done. You can't remove, because if you remove an edge, then the graph may become disconnected in very random way. And then you can't use an edge from T1 to save it. We do not know, okay? Yeah, yeah. Trying to go to T2 and showing that, yeah, it will not, the weight will not increase. Okay. So once again, you can, yes, I think this is good enough, right? Because at each step you see, right? At each step, we are removing an edge of T1 and adding an edge of T2, right? So other way you can say is that you start with T1, pick a random, you can write this in many ways, okay? Pick a random edge E, which is not in T1, but in T2. You place that onto T1, you get a cycle, remove something of that cycle, which is only in T1. And that will be possible, that will be there, and the graph will still be connected. So what you have done is you have removed one thing from T1 and added one thing from T2. Slowly, slowly you're transforming towards T2 and weight is not decreasing. And eventually you will be totally, okay, equal to T2. Okay, this is good. So we already have a method. Yeah, it took some time to prove it, but this is the case. Yeah. So yes, that other way, other thing, that is not true. That cannot be done. Yeah, you should always add something and then get a cycle and then remove something, okay, so that you maintain everything. And this is the exact argument that is used in the algorithm that I'm going to present, and that is also a very simple algorithm. Okay, so I'll just write the algorithm and then you guys can see if some of you already had that algorithm in mind, and then the proof, it is the exact same idea. Okay, that is, or rather not exact but similar. Anyways, yeah, let's see. I'll just state the algorithm. Okay, and just like this one, that is also extremely straightforward. This is also a greedy algorithm, right? Because you're not thinking what could go wrong globally, you're just thinking locally. I'll just take a cycle, look at it, okay, in that I'll try to make the best choice, and it's working. That's just greedy thing, right? And that is again because of the exchange argument and so on, and so that will also work. So it's very simple. So order the edges in non-decreasing order of weights, right? Simply, I think this is what Chandan was saying, but since it's out of time, order of weights. Okay, just order the edges. Okay, just W1, W2, the edges. So yeah, I can understand this should not be like this. W1 doesn't mean for the vertex W1, right? It just means, and there are M edges. Okay, so N vertices and M edges. Okay, so just do this, and yeah, then what you do is, yeah, select W1. Okay, and so on. Just keep doing it. Okay, if selecting Wi does not create a cycle, if selecting wi, ith vertex, some ith point, right? Ith point, you reach the process. If selecting wi does not create a cycle, then select it. See, here we are not looking for cycles. We are just, we put an edge and you see that it forms a cycle. That is slightly easier to do, right? I'll describe that more clearly, how one can do it extremely easy by some constant updating and so on, storing it in a nice way. But for now, this is not searching for cycles, just to make that clear. Yeah. If selecting wi does not create a cycle, then select it, else discard it forever. Just discard it and move on to wi plus 1. Yeah. Simply, just that's all it is. Just let's see, we'll execute it here and it'll be very clear. This algorithm is stated in many ways. Okay. This is, I think, known as the Prim's algorithm or Kruskal, one of them, but both are, yeah, but we are not doing the analysis of the running time and so on. That much is not important for us combinatorially for now. We'll do it when we do recurrences and such, that thing, but not now. But those are not difficult. This is the interesting point. So what is the way we are going to do this? So this was naive 11. See, if you just select this, just select the smallest edge. So we just select the smallest edge. Select this. Now select the second. Obviously, if there is an ambiguity, it doesn't matter. Just pick any one of them. Select this smallest edge. Then select this smallest edge. Then select 2. Now 3. 3 comes in, right? But 3 creates a cycle. So we discard it. So discard means discarded, gone forever. Okay. Next, the other 3, right? Discard it forever. Next comes 6. Does 6 create a cycle? No, right? So we select it. And just in this way, we keep going. Okay, then we look at 10, or sorry, we look at 7. 7 doesn't create a cycle. We select it. We discard the 10 and discard the 11. Yes, because of the big cycle. All right, and that's it. It's very, very simple. And this also works. And again, just compare it with a tree and this will show some sort of a thing, okay, that the weight increases and so on. Again, it's just the simplest of the algorithms that works, and that's the beauty of this, because when the problem that you'll be doing, the algorithm itself will not be difficult, but proving it, because that's what we want to learn, it can be. So try to prove this, that this works, okay? And yeah, that's it for today. Today I just plan to do a 60 minutes class because of other constraints. Okay, I will just send a mail about tomorrow's class. Okay, who should attend which one, I will suggest you, and obviously then it's up to you. Okay, I will do that. Any questions regarding today? Today we didn't do much, but I think we learned things. Okay, okay, thank you. Okay, thanks.